In recent months, Trump has done so much to turn America's clock backwards, it's easy to forget that he does have a vision for the future. Though, of course, it's a stupid one.
A sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces called the Space Force.
We're going to be going to space. Space Force.
You know, it's times like this when I'm really moved by the unfathomable vastness of space. The universe might be so big that even Donald Trump can't ruin most of it. At least, that's the hope. Amy Hoggart recently met with some pioneers who share that optimism.
Earth, our pale blue dot, is in hopeless turmoil.
The main problems facing Earth today, prejudice.
Climate change. Conflict and war.
Plastics.
These concerned souls are gathered because they may have found the solution to our problems, creating a new nation in space.
Asgardia, the first space nation of the united humankind, has been born.
Asgardia will be a peace-loving country based on spaceships orbiting Earth someday. For now, they're starting on this planet, specifically at a palace in Austria, where they're meeting for the first time to inaugurate their new government, headed by their founder, Russian billionaire Dr. Igor Ashebaly. They already have a flag, a constitution, and a hit single. So far, over 200,000 Earth people have signed up, and they plan to be living in this space utopia in 25 years.
Every time humanity moves somewhere, everything gets better. From Africa to Europe, Europe to America, then East Coast to West Coast.
This douche pilgrim is right. Earth will get better when he moves. And his fellow Asgardians are hard at work, perfecting their democracy.
It's extremely important to establish a democratic state here. We have our representatives.
Yeah.
We have our head of nation.
Was he democratically elected?
And the king is never democratically elected.
Got it. Progressive democracy with an all-powerful king.
Dr. Igor is a visionary who...
Did you say Dr. Evil?
No, Dr. Igor.
Okay.
He is trying to take what's best of Earth politics and Earth culture and leave some of the worst parts behind.
But he made himself leader.
He founded the nation. Give him a break.
I think he is a very rich man who started his own country and made himself space king, and that is definitely the simplest narrative.
Well, it's a wrong narrative, but you don't need to be jealous of his wealth.
How did he make his money?
I'm not here to talk to you as his accountant or his...
It does just seem relevant how he made his money.
Look it up.
I did. And this peace-loving space king made his money building ballistic missiles for Vladimir Putin. Dr. Igor is part of the billionaires club who think that the problems of the Earth are literally beneath them, just like Jeff Bezos and this cave expert. I've got a crazy idea. What if space billionaires spent their money on Earth problems?
First of all, Dr. Ashebaly is contributing to preservation of culture. How do I put it? What's the right way of saying it in English?
World hunger? Or
no, not world hunger. He rebuilt some churches. So his position is that we will only work for now on things which I'm sure I can see through in my lifetime.
Wow.
He's in his 50s.
It's 50s? And he's wasting no time getting started.
Asgardia 1 was launched as a collected data satellite for Asgardians to give any Asgardian a little stake in space. Citizens were invited to put some data onto that satellite. It's poetry, it's words, it's personal data, it's photographs, and we launched it. It's 0.5 terabyte of data.
So it's an iPod?
Well, it's orbiting the Earth, so Asgardia's got space territory.
And apparently that iPod is now a country.
There's no law which defines whether you're a nation or not. It's a judgment call. We judge ourselves to be a nation, and I'm sure we'll get UN recognition.
So you're not worried you're putting all your eggs in one loophole?
What's the loophole?
That you can be a hard drive in space.
Why is that a loophole?
Because they probably, when they wrote the rule book, hadn't considered that someone would say, we're going to call a satellite a country.
Here's some news for you.
Yeah.
We've got more citizens than a lot of nations on Earth, so it would just be a bit silly if the United Nations said you're still not a nation.
So I went to find out from the UN's Director of Outer Space Affairs. In theory, is it possible for someone to launch an object into space and claim that it's a country?
Okay. This never happened, but okay.
Is that because it is a joke?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the UN might not be on board, but these people are coming together from far and wide to unite all of humanity. Almost.
It's a cross-section of the human race.
What ratio male to female?
It's about 85% male, 15% female.
It's almost completely male.
It's not almost completely male. Well, do you think 30,000 isn't very many women?
It's a tiny fraction of the overall population.
30,000 women is a lot of women.
How many men, then?
Wait a minute. Well, it'd probably be about 180,000.
Because?
Because perhaps just men find the space flight and that sort of thing more interesting. You're kind of missing a point here. And women. Men and women. So we slipped that in. That's sneaky. You're not being sexist about this, are you?
No, that's your job. But maybe Asgardia's top woman has a better answer.
To people who come to me and say, do something as a person in top management to bring in more women, my message is, you go out and do something to bring more women. Ask your girlfriend, ask your sister, ask your mother. As a woman, what would attract you? You men tell me how to interest women you know, bring them into Asgardia.
So maybe 2-for-1 drinks? If only someone here on Earth was supporting space programs for women.
This project is called Space for Women and is mainly devoted to STEM education, in particular for women and in particular for women in developing countries. We help them then in their career path. What we are really missing right now is money.
So if someone had like $1 billion to spare, your program sounds like a good use of it.
I would love that. Before we are able to live on longer periods in space, we need to be sure that we can protect our own planet. For the time being, it's the only home we have.
Amy's log, stardate 96082. The Asgardians are a hopeful species that may struggle to reproduce. They're intent on shirking the problems of their origin planet, yet there's something about this place. A place for hope, a place for dance, a place sort of in space. Goodbye from this planet. Lena and I have some handmaidening to get on with.
And we're looking for women to join us.
Oh, God.